Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Brev. Welcome to another episode of What Would Brev Do? This is the series where I play an entire ranked game and I talk about what's going on in my head the entire time. Got kind of a fun team build today. I decided to go into ranked with a lineup full of left-handed hitters only. The bench as well is only left-handed, so this will be an interesting challenge. Obviously, this isn't very good, but there is a concept that Gunsky and I talked about on one of the rankings videos where if you have the same handedness, we're throwing Dontrell in this, by the way. I have him at P1. If you have the same handedness every spot through your order, your opponent can kind of get complacent in their sequencing because there's only so many ways they can attack you, so... just to get it out of the way at the beginning, I don't think this is good at all, but maybe something like platooning one or two of these guys, I don't know. Either way, it's going to be a fun challenge. We're also using a bit, some outdated cards just for fun. We have like Gunnar Henderson at shortstop, so overall just doing this as a challenge and be interesting to see how people pitch to me, or if they have a righty starter on the mound, if they start warming up Randy right away. The full lefty team build is going to be the hardest one because Randy's a thing, but we'll see what we get. Obviously this season just started over, so we're at 700 rating, haven't played a game yet. We will see what we're rocking with here. Also didn't have O'Neal Cruz on this team build even though he's supercharged because it felt a little OP. We are facing Parallel 4 Daniel Espino, which is a card I haven't hit against in a What Would Brev Do yet, so I'm excited about that. And it's a right-handed starter, so we'll see. We'll see how long he sticks with him, and we'll see how he pitches to us. We're using the new Griffey too, which I'm pretty, meh about the card, but using Griffey's always fun. Also at PNC Park here. I don't play here almost ever. I think it plays fine. Maybe the ball's kind of dead to left field just because the wall's so far back. We'll see how it plays. Those are event stats for Ken Griffey Jr. If you're wondering. Alright, facing Espino. He is pretty much the same as any other outlier slider changeup guy you're going to face. Espino's a little bit harder because his slider is really good. His best pitch is his slider by a lot, so... protecting the inside tunnels versus, making sure I'm not swinging at sliders at my feet like that is going to be the hardest part of facing Espino in this. Otherwise, facing outlier in general, it's pretty important to just take away the fastball if you can, even if you flail at stuff early. If you connect on one, sometimes they get off of it and start pitching cute. Got us to chase there, had to protect. Got to try really hard not to swing at sliders at our feet here. Kind of bailed us out with that pitch. That was an easy read. I imagine he'll just go fastball here. I don't think he wants to walk me. That was a great pitch, actually. If that was down, I probably wouldn't have taken as good of a swing. But yeah, I'm just sitting fastball here because he definitely doesn't want to walk me to start the game. So we're just taking it away. Since I just pulled that one, he might change up here, though. Maybe literally. Nope. That was a lucky foul. I was kind of sitting off speed for that one in particular. This is a great at-bat from Griffey to lead it off here. And we worked the walk. He does go change up and misses his spot. Now we got Mauer up. He pauses the game. He might be warming somebody up. Yo, this guy might be getting Randy up in the pen. 10-pitch walk for Griffey. Couple of really good pulled foul balls there too. Good swings. Also, this guy's Espino has a 2.7 walks per 9, which is actually kind of high for cards that are being used online a lot. So that tells me that he may be inclined to throw balls more often in 2-strike counts or full counts. He only did it once out of 4 tries there, though. Maybe he just doesn't have great control with Espino. Alright, minute left on the pause. Maybe he had to go to the bathroom. Having to go to the bathroom in the first inning is the worst because you have the least amount of pause time. These are the pro tips you learn when you play this game all the time like I do. If you can avoid it, try not to go to the bathroom in the first inning. unless it's events or something. Yeah, O'Neal Cruz supercharged to 125 everything, contact and power, on his Future Stars card for the next 2 days, which is just wild. He hit the hardest ball in the StatCast era at this park, actually. All right, looks like he's back. How do I want to attack here with Mauer? I think still sitting fastball is pretty good. I have to be a little bit careful about it here, though, because he could run a two-seamer for a double play. And this is a really tough spot to be in, actually. I have to take away the fastball still. But I'm really worried about like an outside two-seamer. That's one of Espino's best pitches as well. It's a decent take. Does he go slider in on our hands here? He tried to front door that and missed. What is he going to throw? That's paint. Beautiful pitch. That is like the best tunnel you can pitch out of with Espino, because like it's either going to be that or it's going to be a slider, and I just guessed slider there. It's a good pitch from him. See if he goes off speed first pitch again. Oh, he threw it right down the middle. Feels bad. Seems like he's having a bit of control issues, except for literally the pitch I just struck out on. That was like the best pitch he's thrown all game. Okay, we're late there. Not a good at bat so far. He could easily run a slider down and in. I think I have to swing because I have to protect against that fastball. He went two-seamer down and away. We get launch angled, unfortunately. Dang it. That is a really good swing. We would have got blown by a four-seamer there, though, so maybe it wasn't a good swing. Good result, but if he had thrown a four-seam, I think we were screwed. I don't know how I hit that ball 89 miles an hour. That's wild. Is he going to hose me one first pitch again? That's just paint. Okay, he's actually painted us really well the last two at-bats, 3 at-bats. And we chase there. So aside from the Griffey at-bat, we honestly hit pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. That last swing was pretty tough. Let's see what we're walking with. His cap has 93 home runs. That's crazy. I don't know how much I'm going to talk about pitching with Dontrell, because I personally don't think he's very good. And I don't see anybody really using him. Super fun. And I kind of wanted to do it in the left-handed hitter team build because he's a lefty pitcher that can hit a little bit. And I didn't want to throw someone like DeGrom. But we'll see how it goes. He got... I think one of the main reasons Dontrell isn't that good is just his velocity and also his hits per 9. Like 93 hits per 9 at this point in the year is kind of bad. But the pitch mix is good, and I think his control's pretty good in general. The issue is just that your opponent's PCIs are going to be gigantic with all the progression of hitters we've gotten as the months have gone on. I don't think I ever want to throw this guy a four-seam here until I figure out what he's actually looking for when he's ahead in the count. That was a really good swing on the cutter, actually, so maybe next time 3-1 we'll go four-seam. Yeah, great timing on that. Either just missed it with his PCI or got screwed. But yeah, Dontrell's pitches themselves are actually fine, aside from maybe his four-seam not being hit hard enough. We go 1-2-3 on the George Brett line out. Back to work on offense. We've got Matt Carpenter, Reggie Jackson, Justin Morneau. Tried to do a little bit of variety in this lineup too. Like I said, don't want to just use all the God Squad lefties, even though they're all on my bench in case this game gets sweaty. All right, 24 pitch first inning, but we didn't really do anything. Still not really sure what my approach is. He has hosed us a couple four seams early in the count, so maybe that's what we'll start looking for. That one was in a good spot, though. Okay, he's being a little bit more careful here to Carp. It's an insane pitch. I don't know how he doesn't get that call. I'm going to take this pitch. I don't think I've had a 3-1 count yet. Maybe Griffey had one. I want to see what he throws. Change up. So that's probably setting me up for another fastball and probably down and in since he already got us on it once. I was wrong. He's just going to give us a throwaway change up for our second walk. We're sitting first pitch fastball. And we're very early. Sitting on it a little too hard. We sat on it because he hosed one. God, and then he hoses one second pitch. He hosed one already this game. That's what I was saying. Okay. The disrespect from this guy. I mean, if you want to keep throwing it, I'm going to hit it at some point. That is something we'll have to be sitting on early in the count from now on. That was completely intentional and it actually worked. That's a dot. Yeah, Espino's slider is his best pitch for sure. Gotta watch the down and in four seam again here. Oh, we get the slider back door. More no to dead center. Takes it deep for a 2-0 lead. And after that pitch, we're almost certainly getting a first pitch four seam down the middle here. So let's see if we can go back to back with Gunner. I think this is Gunner. Pretty much a reactionary swing there. Not much to say coaching-wise. Just kind of saw it all the way. That works. We put it in the gap. So, yeah, I mean, that's a tendency to pick up on. People won't usually pitch to you like this for obvious reasons. But he's done it a couple times where, for some reason, right after I get somebody on base or get a hit, he just throws a four-seam down the middle. See what he does to Dontrell here. Beans him, okay. I will take that. Guess we sit four seam down the middle again. Wasn't down the middle, but we hit it to center. We can score pretty easily on this. He should throw to third. That's a good throw from him. We're rocking and rolling. He should maybe think about getting the bullpen up. It is only the second inning though, so it's kind of tough. I'm sad I grounded into a double play there because it killed the inning, but that's still the right swing. Until he proves otherwise, I'm probably just going to swing first pitch if I see four seam out of the hand. I don't really know why this guy is pitching the way he is. But we have to try to take advantage of it, and unfortunately on that swing in particular, the ball was below the zone. Jam him up, first pitch cutter. This guy's been swinging first pitch quite a bit. We had an 8-pitch first inning, and now that we kind of have a bit of momentum too, it's possible he's going to be even more aggressive. So I maybe should have even thrown a ball first pitch. I'm going to throw a ball here, try to get this off the plate. It's a good take. Going to bury a changeup as well. I don't mind getting to 2-0 here with nobody on base just to see where his bat's at, and he does swing. Sweet. Let's go another ball. Just want to make him chase if I can. And he did. Easy fly out to Reggie and left. 2 down. And we'll go first pitch changeup in the dirt here too. It's incredibly frustrating as a hitter to have to, when somebody's pitching you the way I'm pitching this guy right now, where I feel like I have momentum and he's kind of like the game's getting away just a little bit, even though it's only 3-0. Kind of feels that way. So spamming balls is really frustrating for him because not only does he not have any momentum and he's pressing to get some back, but he has to remain disciplined in the process, and so far he isn't. There's a flip side of that where if people are staying disciplined, you don't want to keep spamming balls because you'll walk them back into the game, but it's typically how I like to start things out, I guess you could say. I imagine he's going to a left-handed pitcher here. Or at least warming one up. Still sitting a first pitch four seam, since that seems to be his favorite thing to leave over the plate. And I might have hit that out. I did. That's a worse swing than Musial took in the first inning. With a better result. He probably hit it just as far, to be honest. That left field wall is just a little bit shallow. I will take it. Another four seam. No. Okay, finally he's making an adjustment here. But that's fine. We just give him a strike to try to sit on our tendency. And a couple off speed back to back. Maybe he's onto us now. We'll see what he throws 0-2. That's an easy take. Gotta be still conscious of the four seam down and in though. There it is. If he threw a slider there, we're just swinging at a ball that hits us. But he hasn't thrown the slider once. He's thrown the four seam a lot. In that tunnel, I should say. Oh, just missed. That's a great pitch to see 2-2. I just took a mechanically bad swing. That will happen. Good at bat though from Devers. 50th pitch here coming for Espino. Last time he pitched the Carp, kind of careful. But I'm still looking for that first pitch four seam. Oh, he threw the two seam. I don't know why this guy does this. Like, if you, I don't know, if you want to spam four seam, at least try to put it on the corner. He must be used to just people jamming their PCI against it. It's a good pitch. He's thrown that well a couple times. Again, protecting the low and in four seam. If he throws a slider, we just strike out. It's fine. There's a changeup in a beautiful spot. We strike out, and it's fine. Good tunnel from him. You can see the approach we're working with, though. I mean, we only have one hit this inning, but in general, things are fine. This is kind of just how it goes, too, when you're trying to take outlier away from somebody. Sometimes you just strike out on off speed. Beautiful. Okay, so we'll have to make an adjustment next inning. He only really did it with 2 strikes, I think, for the most part, so we'll keep our approach of sitting four seam early in the count, and then otherwise we'll I can't throw the pitch here for some reason. That was weird. The game froze. No way. Am I gonna have to play an all-star? This is the I probably shouldn't say it in a video. When the game freezes this way, it's fairly suspicious, I think. Okay, I disconnected. Why does that keep happening to me? So we're gonna take the L for that one. Oh boy, and we're down to 676. So I'm praying I match up with someone above 700 because I really want to play on Hall of Fame and not All-Star. Really do not want to play on All-Star, but we'll see what we get. Something Gunsky and I talked about in one of the positionless videos is that even though it's not necessarily good to have your entire lineup full of guys that are hit from one side, it can kind of limit your opponent's sequencing in a bit. Like, they can only do so much to the same handedness hitter over and over, so that can make them a little bit predictable. Of course, we're facing Randy, so this is going to be the hardest game. I was just about to say the left-handed hitting team is going to have it rough just because Randy's a thing. But here we go. Also, O'Neal Cruz supercharged to 125 power and contact versus both sides for the next 2 days for hitting the hardest hit ball in the StatCast era in real life. This guy's a World Series player too. This might be a rough one, boys. Alright, so pitching with Al Leiter. Typical sinker cutter stuff, except for the fact that I probably throw the slider more than any other pitch. Especially to righties. One of Al Leiter's biggest strengths, in my opinion, is the ability to run the slider in on the hands to righties, because relative to his other pitches, you can see his sinker at absolute max hits 95, which I don't even know I've ever seen it hit that. His slider consistently sits in the high 80s and sometimes can hit 90. That is an early swing in the gap, and it's probably going to be a triple. Rough start to this game. That's exactly the swing you want to see. The slider away, and he swings early. Dang. But yeah, specifically against righties, the slider is so good. It's very hard to time up relative to his other pitches. And you can work the cutter as well inside to righties, and that kind of gives them two different speeds to have to work with there. You can see he's early on the slider and still late on the cutter. Yeah, pitching inside to righties is amazing with Al. And you can work that down and in tunnel too, and if eventually they get a little patient or they're just not swinging at the slider low and in, you can then try to paint like a front door sinker down and in, and Al Leiter's sinker control is extremely good. I don't know what that animation was from Griffey. Not that we would have gotten O'Neal anyway, but might pitch out of this. We'll see. What do I want to throw here? I'm actually going to go four seam up and in just one time. That's another nice part about Al is sometimes working the four seam is good because he throws it, you know, that one was 96. It's a lot harder than his other pitches. There he's late on a slider. There's that hard slider. The one downside to Leiter though, no changeup. This would be a great spot for a changeup. So what you can do alternatively is throw a slider kind of where it ends up down like that. Obviously not as good of a changeup, and that's the core weakness of a card like this, but still an option. Get him to chase a curve there, and he fouls it off, unfortunately. We still have to spam off speed here. He's going to be ready for the sinker if we throw it. We just need him to swing through one of these. Could run the sinker outside, actually. Let's try this pitch. He was still early. Oh, he was just late. Okay. Let's try the slider down again. Good take. Definitely should have struck out by now, but hopefully we can get one here. Got him. Nice. So that slider down and in is super good. Like typically that's a pitch you want to throw with a guy that throws hard. But it works really well with Leiter because the slider is thrown hard relative to his other pitches, and he can front door the sinker really easily with the control that he has. These pitches look super slow, so I'm actually going to check the game log here. This is on All-Star. Dang it. Okay, well hopefully we can hit a little bit. Not hitting against Randy on All-Star would be a bit embarrassing, even with this lineup we're using. These pitches look so slow, dude. So facing Randy, especially left on left, is really tough, obviously. One of the toughest at bats in the game. You got to be really worried about getting thrown up and in fastballs while at the same time protecting against the sliders and slurves away. Like that. Just barely fight it off. We do have Griffey in a game on All-Star, though. The promised land for him. With his contact numbers. Putting up a good fight here first at bat. And that's a great spot. Splitter. Don't know what I do with my PCI there. Kind of a good tunnel from him because it looks like, you know, a slider or a slurve down and in, which is another pitch people will try to get you to strike out on with a left-handed hitter. But I have a feeling even on All-Star this might be a long game. This is just the toughest pitcher to face with this lineup by far. But who knows? Maybe we'll get him into some repetitive sequencing like I was saying in the beginning. We have to swing there because the slider's catching the zone. Good two-seam. We pull it down the line, though. This is a single. Good at bat from Maurer. Getting the train rolling a little bit. Stan has reverse splits, too. That's why I put him in the 3-hole. He's gotten first pitch four-seam a lot. Maybe that's something we'll start looking for. Nice slider. I'm glad I didn't hit that on the ground. Can't really take a better swing than that. Hit it right to the shortstop. I'm sitting first pitch four-seam here. Oh, I pulled it foul. I was getting a four-seam there for a lot of reasons. One, I just crush an off-speed pitch, too. It's been his favorite pitch to throw. First pitch of the at-bat. So that was a gimme, and unfortunately we just swung early at it. Another slider away. That was a lucky swing. So we get one back. Two singles now. I think I have a Carpenter next. Once again, sitting four seam. You think he's done it every at bat. First pitch. Threw it off the plate. That's fine. Now we're sitting off speed. Okay, we take that. I sent my runners back by default. We might have been able to move up, but with 2 outs, maybe not worth the risk. This catcher's putting in work. What do we get here? 2-1. I don't think we've gotten to 2-1 yet. We get a painted four seam. So now we really have to be worried about sliders down and away. He went four seam down and in. This might get down. Yeah, it did get down. Wow, that is extremely lucky. To score 2 runs on that swing, that's kind of rough. I don't know who he has in left field. Whoever it is not good at defense. He has Bellinger in left field. Bellinger should be better than that. First pitch four seam? Yes. Okay, I didn't trust myself. We definitely have a read on this guy, though, so far. This is off speed. Ooh. Never mind. Yeah, Belly with gold defense and like 80-ish speed, I think, so should have probably played that ball a bit better than he did. Roll me over on the slurve. We get a Carpenter double for 2 runs, though. On a lucky swing, we'll go back to work with Lighter. Our opponent's got a decent amount of righties in the lineup, too. Which is weird to say, but Lighter almost pitches better to righties because the slider dynamic, like I've been saying. One thing I actually have to work on with my Lighter pitching personally is I pitch inside to righties so much that it can get kind of predictable at times, so sometimes I have to force myself to throw stuff outside. If you do want to go outside, obviously sinkers and cutters are really strong. Typically outside to righties would be a good like change-up spot, but again, Lighter doesn't have one. So stuff like middle awake sinkers like that, or just backdoor cutters in general, pretty decent. I should have gone inside here actually. He's late there. And now I'm going to actually front door a sinker. He was late on that sinker, and he's been swinging at every slider, so he might take this pitch. And he did. Beautiful. Beautiful pitching. One step ahead. So we've got him swinging so many times at that slider in his feet with a righty first inning that he's probably trying to make the adjustment to not swing at it. So that opens the door for us to throw that sinker there, get an easy strikeout. I typically don't like throwing sinkers like up and in, especially to lefties, although you can mix it in at times. I'm going to mix it in here. His sinker's slow enough where if somebody's sitting on it, you're probably not getting a swing and miss. But it's still good to work in. And against lefties specifically, I really like front door cutters and front door sliders because they work off that sinker that everybody's sitting on. Couldn't quite catch the zone there. We are going to throw a slider high. About a 50-50 ball with the par. If he walks, if he doesn't swing and walks, it's fine. And we get him to chase. We'll have to keep that in our back mind now, too. He may think next 3-2 count we're going to throw a ball. So that'll be a good opportunity for us to paint him again. And we're back to work against the right-handed hitter. Wanted that way more off the plate. But we get the foul ball. And yeah, this is just pretty much what I do with Lighter. Lots of sliders to righties. It's his best pitch for sure. Extremely hard to time up, especially with the cutter looming and trying to protect against the sinker as well. Good take from him. Finally laid off. I'm going to double up because it would make sense for me to now try to paint him. Yep. So he was sitting sinker there, expecting me to tunnel that. I'm going to run a cutter up and in. Maybe get it by him in the same slider tunnel. Did not get it by him. J-Rod takes his deep. That was a great pitch. Not much to say there. Made our pitch. Hit our spot. Right on the black. I guess we need to stick with the slider more until he hits one. That was in off the plate. And we get out of the inning. Dang it, J-Rod. Ruining the shutout. I couldn't even tell you the last time I threw a shutout in one of these videos. Hey, I didn't give up a run in the first inning this time, though. That's a W. First pitch, four seam. Don't cut this off. Oh, another single. Yeah, this guy is literally hosing us a fastball first pitch every at bat, so we're just going to sit on it until he mixes it up. There's a good mix-up. See if he starts working more off-speed in general. Seems like it. Got to be careful here of the low stuff. Don't want to hit into a double play. 3-1. Throw off speed last time. 2 seam. Okay. Can't send the runner here 40 speed. It's too much of a risk. Nice slurve from him. I swung for slider and was early, but still got a hit. So 2 on, nobody out. I may try to lay a bunt down here. Lighter's got decent speed. Maybe we don't bunt into a double play. It's a beautiful bunt. Nice. I actually got a sacrifice bunt to work. Good job, Al. Now we're sitting first pitch dinger on a 4 seam. Oh, of course he threw slurve. He's doing good, though, making the adjustment. That'll be a run. Pretty good swing, honestly, to be a routine ground out. That's kind of wild. He definitely shouldn't go infield in there. It's too early in the game, too, so... good play all around. Aside from him throwing another first pitch 4 seam, so... This is really interesting. I didn't think it would happen this quickly, but it definitely seems like he has a sequence he likes versus lefties, and he is sticking with it pretty much every at bat. Should have laid off that pitch. But essentially every at bat has been first pitch 4 seam into second pitch off speed. So we're able to get 5 runs through 2, just off of making reads in the first couple innings. Another thing you can throw with lighter too. He's gonna late swing a hit with his pitcher. Yikes. Against righties, you can backdoor cutters and sliders outside. They're not great, but they will work against someone who's being super patient in 2 strike counts. I want to catch this, right? So he popped out there, but he had good timing. So again, I don't love throwing sinkers in on the hands to lefties, which is maybe what some of you are trying to do. Like, he's definitely no, like, Aaron Ashby. Like, you definitely can't live off that pitch because he just doesn't throw his sinker hard enough. I would say most of the pitches I throw with lighter, now that I'm talking about it out loud, are glove side. I just think his pitches work better that way. Really like this cutter down and in, too. He tanked that one, though. Okay. He is not getting any more cutters on the inside of the part of the plate. 2 righties. That's the last one. Kind of a bit more of the plate than I wanted to. I just don't want to spam the slider, even though I know it's probably what's best, especially against this guy. I'm trying to stay 1 step ahead and just gave him 2 bombs on cutters. So that pitch is going to be a slider from here on out. Nice little front door slider. Dang, 3 runs through 2 1/3. Tough. Puts himself back in the game, too. Huge 2-run shot. That was right down the middle. Oh, it's a pinpoint error. I mean, it's All-Star. Maybe this is... Maybe some of you guys pitching on All-Star with anybody just have to live through this every day. We're going to be in a shootout, it looks like. Yeah, I mean, he's just swinging for cutter. What can you do? We'll try the slider tunnel again. I don't think he'll lay off because he's been feeling himself. Yeah. Can we get an out here, Matt? All right, we get out of the inning. Not our best inning. Giving up 3. Got to go back to work on offense. Thought we might have an easy game when we took a 5-1 lead. There is A hung slider. I was actually still sitting first pitch four seam, so that's a decent pitch from him to like mix it up, but he just hung it right down the middle. So that was a freebie. I love Devers so much, man. If I were him, I'd start working like splitters more. I don't think I've seen very many splitters all game, let alone first pitch. Maybe that's like his pitch to go to versus righties, and that's why he isn't throwing it much. That's a great spot. Struck out the first at bat on a splitter, I guess. I don't think he meant to throw that there, but it ended up tunneling perfectly with an up and in fastball. I'm disappointed in myself for that swing. We could have gone back-to-back so easily, but I just misread the ball out of the hand. It looked exactly like up and in. That's okay. One of the worst strikeouts I've had in a long time. He is not throwing first pitch four seam very much anymore, though, so good for him. Maybe we'll change up our approach in that regard. That's crushed. He's leaving a lot of pitches like around the middle of the plate. Reggie with the most disrespectful no down animation, by the way. We're almost certainly getting off speed here based on his tendencies. Beautiful. I imagine he'll keep throwing off speed till he steals a strike here. We'll see. I just tanked a four seam, so I was wrong. Two seam's a good pitch though. Lets him get a strike, and I'll swing early if I'm sitting four seam. There's a hung slurve. This might be an out. J-Rod. Yeah. Not the best PCI, but pretty decent swing. It's alright. We've already stolen two back this inning, so it's been a great inning. I'm going to sit fastball here, actually, since we just hit an off-speed pitch really well. Oh, missed. Just barely under it. So I feel like we're all over this guy with the reads, to be honest. I have predicted almost everything he's thrown so far. Particularly that inning was really good, so we'll keep with it. We'll see how long he actually sticks with Randy, too. Like, based on the state of the game, you would want to usually get away from your starter sometime soon, but Randy probably still gives him the best chance to stop me from scoring with the lineup that I have. Look at Morneau. The auto dive and the glove flip. Beautiful. I think we're just going to spam slider against this guy until he actually like hits one out. It's the perfect like in-between pitch that's really hard to time up. You can see he's late there. So yeah, I guess even though it hasn't been the best start, my best advice with Leiter would be throw the slider more than anything else, and don't get too confident with like sinkers inside to lefties. Because his sinker, relative to his other pitches, his sinker is probably like his third best pitch. Leiter's best pitches in order are probably slider, cutter, sinker. I am going to tunnel the sinker here. This might burn me. I'm expecting him to make an adjustment. I missed my spot anyway. I actually don't hate missing my spot there. I, in the back of my mind, could see him turning on that. Finally got him to chase that slider low. That's the pseudo changeup pitch, and he was late on it and still hits it into right for a single. Does he take Randy out here? This is my first start with Leiter on this account, by the way, so don't mind the ERA. I have him at P3 on the alt. How do I keep disconnecting from the show, man? Dude, come on, internet. Oh my goodness. This is wild. So we're going to be at like 650 rating after this game. I think I'm going to post this one, though. I think that was a decent amount of good information all around. So another game where we're winning and we take the L. I got to figure out what's wrong with my internet. But I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you learned something. Take care until next time. We'll see ya.